I should say that during the pandemic, I had very interesting visitors. I had dozens of very distinguished people that came, some of which are multi-billionaires, and they were all hosted in my porch, and because it was during the pandemic, I found that to be quite exciting. Now,
Yeah, that's one of the perplexing things that we've found about the NASA study is their disclosure that we're spending $100,000 on this, and that just seemed like a very minuscule drop in the bucket. Like, what are they possibly hoping to accomplish with just $100,000, or are we missing something there?
Yeah, I mean, the study was just of it's a committee that is supposed to recommend. It's not a committee that is doing any research, and they will be studying only the unclassified information, which, as I said, is much less impressive probably than the classified portion. And I say that without seeing it. I say that because high-level officials who saw the classified data said that it's quite intriguing. In fact, Bill Nelson said that the hair in the back of his neck stood up when he saw it. I don't know what that means. I've never, to figure out what it means, I need to see when does the hair on the back of Bill Nelson stands up by showing him different videos. So I don't know what to make of it. But there were others, there were presidents and other high-level officials that talked about it. And it sounds to me like that there is very intriguing data, but the government is not a scientific organization. So we cannot ask them to do the scientific research for us. We cannot ask them to declassify data because it will reveal the nature of classified sensors that the government is using, and that will compromise national security interests, right? So these sensors are used to defend the US, and we don't want adversaries to be aware of their quality. So obviously, they will not release the data, even if the sky is not classified. We can look at objects. So we need to do the work ourselves rather than, sitting back, relaxing, and saying, let's wait until the government will give us all the information. I don't want them to give us the classified data because it will compromise national security interests. I just want to get the data with unclassified sensors, which make a lot of sense. And because the sky is not classified, the sky is something astronomers are studying all the time.
If they approached you and said, Avi, we need a scientist to come and work for us and take a look at this classified information, would you do it?
I would look at any information that advances our knowledge. Now, because I want to find the answer, you see. I don't want to compromise national security interests of the US. But if there is something out there, and it's already evident in some existing data, we should be able to see it again, okay, with unclassified. Like, we should be able to see it with instruments that are not classified, and then it will be open data. So the question is, what is out there? And we just started with the Galileo project, so I don't know the answer. I would be, I'm very curious to know what's out there. And if the government already knows, that would be amazing. Now, I should say that the person who visited me said, I have an obligation that if I see something, of extraterrestrial origin, I will have to report to the US president. And I said, suppose there are extraterrestrials. Does it make any sense for the president to be the first one to know about it and the only one? To me, it makes very little sense because it's the reality that we live in. The same as the earth moves around the sun. Okay, the president will be the first to know that the earth moves around the sun. So what? Eventually, people will freak out. Everyone will know about it. It has nothing to do with national security. I would better let everyone know about it so that we can then adapt to that reality. Okay,